Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is the Otaku Gamer and I am a small variety content creator. Now recently I was looking for an idea to start my YouTube channel on, and I found myself nostalgic for Destiny 1. So I decided that I would start a series on it. And in this series I'm going to be discussing exotic weapons, exotic armor, all the storylines, details, side storylines, pretty much anything you think of. I'm going to be trying to make as much content as I can about Destiny 1. And to start it all off with, today we'll be discussing the Black Garden storyline of Destiny 1. The Black Garden is one of many storylines that are offered by Destiny, and because it is the first one they unlock, I thought I should review it first. A quick summary of the storyline is that you are hunting Vex because you know their leader has power that can threaten all existence if you don't destroy it. So you go on a journey. Through this journey, you meet people that guide you, and you kill many Vex, but eventually find the entrance to the Black Garden, which is where the powerful entity hides. You end up having to have this huge boss fight, and since I did the boss fight, I thought I should show you some of the highlight moments from when I did it. Oh, that was half its health. Let's go. Oh, I missed. You gotta be proving me right now.
The heart is dying. Keep fighting them.
There's more. Well, that made it a lot easier, but still slightly possible. Some rocket launcher. Oh, I missed. Oh, I was gonna say that missed something to try. Oh my gosh, guys, this might be it. This might be it, boys. Now for the actual review, I'm gonna be saying some positives and negatives, and I might repeat myself a couple times. I'm sorry, this is one of my first videos, and it'll improve as the channel progresses. So for the storyline, let's just start off with, it is a good storyline. It is not the best in Destiny. I think that as I've played through this game, I would have to say Rise of Iron Lords is my favorite, but that's also a personal opinion. But it's not a bad one either. I know that some of the story missions, I feel like I am lost, and I really don't understand where they're going, and once I beat them, I'm just kind of like, that didn't make any sense. That was such a waste of time. But the Black Garden, it was good. At first, I was kind of confused on what I was doing, but as you played, it kind of trickled in what you were doing, and it was nice. And it wasn't like the missions were abrupt, you know. It wasn't like, oh, 1 second I figure out what I'm doing, next second I'm fighting the boss. It felt like you were going really in depth with what the story was and capturing the essence of the story, so you got the full idea before you going into this boss fight. And there were a lot of mini boss fights that you did that I really enjoyed. And for example, when you destroyed that Cabell base, that was a lot of fun to me. Though the game storyline, I do feel like had a few negatives. I feel like sometimes the leveling gaps between missions were kind of hard to reach. I feel like I had to do some grinding outside of the missions to, fully be able to experience the story without being pooed on every time I get into a fight. But I do feel like the missions, they guided you. Whenever I was going into a mission and I got lost, there was always that little white diamond to guide you. I do feel like sometimes, though, there's a couple, this is like it's super nitpicky. There were a couple missions in there that I felt like were just absolutely unnecessary. I feel like they had nothing to do relevant with the plot, but they still clarified as the Black Garden missions. But I do feel like the Black Garden was an important storyline. It was one of the first ones that you get, and I really feel like it was a good experience as a Destiny storyline. It really laid down the groundwork for other Destiny storylines. It showed you that you're mostly going to be doing killing and fighting bosses, but there's also going to be a couple cutscenes, and you're going to meet different people throughout the game, and sometimes they'll reward you. Like the Stranger gave you the Stranger's Rifle. Queen Petra, that's how you started your friendship with the Queen's Wrath. And honestly, I feel like it was a really well thought out and really well developed story. I feel like there was a couple things, super nitpicky things that could have been changed. For example, maybe adding 1 or 2 more cutscenes. Maybe making that boss fight a strike so you could do it with friends instead of just a main story mission, but that's just me being super nitpicky. But also, I feel like the way they did it was really good. You didn't, it gave you a way to level up your character and your subclass so you wouldn't always have to rely on your teammates. And it introduced you to all the weapon types, it felt like, throughout there. You didn't get any legendaries and exotics, which was kind of annoying. But you got scout rifles, you got pulse rifles, you got full auto rifles, you got pretty much everything that you can think of in the game, so you can kind of mess around with it. I feel like it was a really good way to introduce you to the game without putting you like right into a raid or a strike and being expected to understand completely what you have to do and being a disadvantage to your team. It was a really good intro mission. I'm not gonna say it was top tier mission because there are some other missions that you could make it into a really good mid game mission, but since it's your first mission and many of the people were noobs, I'm gonna have to say that this one was a superb one. Not S class, not God tier, but it was really good. I genuinely enjoyed playing it. There were very few times I was annoyed and very few times that I was lost. I felt like it was very rewarding as a storyline and really helped me upgrade my subclass. And honestly, I'm going to suggest you go in and play it for yourself because my opinion is just my opinion. You shouldn't take that and let that be what you think. But I really do hope that this guides you to maybe go back onto Destiny 1 and give Black Garden a try again. Because it was a really fun game mode for your beginning one. And sometimes it's just fun to go back into a game and play with that beginning loot. And Black Garden gives you that perfect experience. I also forgot to mention this in my last recording, so I thought I should do it now. I do feel like the boss fight, it was a top tier boss fight. Best, questionable. But it was top tier. It had 3 layers of bosses. It wasn't impossible. They tossed in some bad guys in there, so then you could get, your ammo for your heavy and special weapons, so you weren't at a complete disadvantage. And it felt very rewarding with the loot that you got from beating these bosses. And it didn't feel like it was impossible, but it did give you a challenge. So I'm going to have to say, 9 out of 10 on that boss fight. It was really good in my opinion. Sometimes it's a little bit annoying. Great storyline. One of the best that'd be pushing it, but I really do think it is a great storyline and one that I think deserves credit. I also think that people should be playing a little bit more Destiny but you know, that's just my opinion. If you ever want to see me whenever I'm live streaming this stuff, my Twitch is the Otaku Gamer, zero instead of an O, just like my YouTube name. I also make TikToks of my highlights from streams under the same name. And if you ever want to just come over and stop by, say you're from YouTube and we can talk about the storyline or talk about any other storyline, I'd be happy to. And thank you for watching and have a great day.